Welcome to Taxonomy Online Mathematics. We are continuing with the set. In the previous video, we talked about the concept, and now we want to talk about how to reduce set to its basic form. So a set is in its basic form if it cannot be reduced any further. So if I have root 2, this is in the basic form because we cannot reduce the root 2 by any other factor or factors multiplying to give us this. So we can say that root 2 is in the basic form. What if I have a root 24? This is not in the basic form because it has some other factors that are perfect square. When we have perfect square to be 4, 9, 16, 24, 49, and so on and so forth. If we can find those factors in the number given to us, then we can reduce it further. So this can also be rewritten as the root of 4 times 6. 4 times 6 will give us 24. But we know that 4 is a perfect square. So we can rewrite this. We have to expand this from the first law we have. We have root 4 times what? Root 6. Now we know that root 4 is the perfect square of what? 2. In there it is 2 exponent 2. So the root will cancel. So my final answer is going to be 2 root 6. So this is the final answer. Even though 6 has a factor of prime and even number in there, 2 times 3. This is not having any other perfect square. So this becomes the simplest form. Similarly, if I have root of 75, root 75. So straightforward, I have to find out if I can see any perfect square in here. So if I have 4 to be a perfect square, I think the next will be 9. The next will be 16. It means 16 times what will give me 75? I don't have. Then I move to the next, 25. So it means that 25 times a certain number will give us 75. Let's see if that will be 3. I think we get 15, 1 times this 6, 7. So perfectly, we can have our factors to be 25 times what? 3. So expanding this, it becomes the root of 25 times root of 3. And definitely we know that 25 is the perfect square. So we take 5 root 3 is the simplified form or the simplest or the basic form of 75. Now don't forget that we can also reverse it. We can reverse this as in squaring the rational number and bringing it under the root. So 5 squared will give us 25. 25 times 3, 75. So if I want to change this back into its natural form, then I have to square the 5 outside. Similarly, I have to square the 2. So 4 into the root to multiply 6 to give you 24. That is how we simplify. So if, let's say, I take another root 200. So straightforward, we have to know our perfect square so that it not waste our time trying which one will be a perfect square for that number. So with this being 200, I know the perfect square is 81 will be 9. The next will be 100, which will be 10. So it means that if I multiply 100 by 2, I should be getting 200. So right away, I am going to have root 2 times 100 or 100 times root 2. Then it's going to be root 2 times what? Root 100. We know we can change this. So we are going to have the perfect square of this is what? 10. So 10 root 2 will give us our 2. Alright, so let's proceed to addition and subtraction. So previously we talked about similar set. It is only similar set that we can add or subtract. That is, if I have m, the root k plus n root k. Since the radicand under the root are the same, I can perform my addition or subtraction. So in this case, I'm going to add the numbers in front, which in this case we can call the coefficient. So we add the rational numbers. So m plus n, all with the same root k. In better state, you can say we are factorizing. This is a common factor. So we factorize the k out. Whatever is left is the factor of n and m. We add them. If it is p, the root of s, minus q, the root of x. Since the s and the s are also similar, we can perform p minus q. Then we have the root what? X. If you factorize that, you can get that. So we only add similar set. It means if the set are not similar, we cannot add them. So that is what we need to. Alright, so let's take a question. Here we have to simplify 6 root 5 plus 7 root 5. So right away we can see that the 6 and the 7 are our coefficient, or the factor multiplying the root, whereby root 5 and root 5 are the same. So 6 root 5 plus, it becomes the 6 plus 7, all with the root 5. And we know 6 plus 7 is 13. So 13 root 5 will be our final answer. All we need to know is that they have the same set, that is the same radicand. If they do, then we just add them. Let's take the last one.